you see here, this could be very tough because you could easily move them to SmackDown because they're wrestlers, like you said. But we've kind of seen lately the entertainment side of things from them with the whole DX thing, with the Awesome Truth. They're going to get the title shots here. I could pretty much think that they could win the titles this soon. I'm going to keep them on Monday Night Raw.
Okay. I think that they're okay. I'll be honest. I don't think that they're a horrible tag team. I think that they're a pretty good tag team. That name just drives me ape shit crazy. Sorry for cussing. Drives me bonkers. The DIY. If they had a different name, I might be able to get into it a little bit more. I just hate the name. But yeah, I will follow your lead on DIY. You said Raw?
Yep, I said the red brand, got to keep them on the brand. 3 hours, you're going to see, hopefully you're going to see a lot more tag team based moving forward now. And then they're one of the teams that will be the focus. I do think that they want to keep a great team on Raw and then a great team on SmackDown. And when I think of that right now, I think of DIY on one brand and the Creed Brothers on the other, because they've already had them wrestle each other 3 times already in the span of 6 months. So I think they split those 2 groups up.
Nice. So as we were talking, I was just randomly was thinking, and I added a destination. I added my old House of Mo YouTube.
Nice.
We have one person watching on it right now. I'm going to go, as we're talking, I'm going to go set up a little bit of things just so we have a little bit of backstage on it. But the person watching on the House of Mo, brand new wrestling channel, me and the Dashing One have. It's WrstlingBrosPod. Take the
yep.
I'm gonna, if you can find us.
I'm gonna actually post the link to on here. I know for the people that are tuned in on this one, they won't have to worry about it. So I'm gonna actually go over to the House of Mo one, so it just pops up on that YouTube. Boom, there it goes. There's the link right there. Just go there. That takes you to what we're on right now, but on the Wrestling Bros Pod side of things. So you can easily go subscribe and then watch with everybody else instead of just being the Lone Ranger over on the House of Mo.
Yeah, because I don't plan on starting that channel back up, but maybe a couple times I go live on it to see if I can get any of the old crew over here. But who you got up next while I do this?
The next is the remaining scavengers from the Alpha Academy. In fact, let me fix this right here and post Otis, Akira Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree. And I probably spelled it wrong, but at this point, we don't care. Boom. You got Maxine Dupree. But whether it's 1 P or 2 Ps, don't really care. I just think it sounds so great. Eventually, they're going to break up, but for right now, they're together. I think that they stay on Raw. I think he has made the turn. They're not going to like it. He's drafted to SmackDown. They're going to be on Raw. You know what? You could move him to SmackDown. You could. And then start something with that. You know what? I'm going to go SmackDown. I think that they move for whatever reason. And that way I can justify something with the Maxine and Ivy-Nile in the future. And maybe there's like a 3-on-3 where you get the Creed. To start out, you get the Creeds and Chad beat up on Otis, Akira, and Maxine as a result of it.
I'll follow you on that one too.
Sounds good. I think that won't do too much of it, but you do need those lower card wrestlers that can work and put people over. And I think Otis and Akira Tozawa do a great job of that. So we got them going to SmackDown. Here's a good run right here that could work out. But before we do that, got King of Cleveland. Yo, He said, Mo, what's up, brother?
What up? What up, Big Cleve?
We've seen you making your rounds. How did you enjoy your Wrestlemania weekend? I've been meaning to ask you, man, where were you sitting? Because I went to night 2 of WrestleMania and I went to NXT take a stand and deliver. So I want to get an idea where you sat. Like we're at the talking DMs to see how your experience was in my city of Philadelphia. But the next group is New Day. I'll let you start this one out.
Which brand do we have more tag teams on right now?
I think we have 2 on Raw. Well, yeah, I think we have 2 on Raw, and I think we have 1 or 2, 1 on SmackDown. Let me look it up. No, I think we have 2 and 2. I think because we have. Let me go back. Awesome Truth on Raw, A-Town Down Under, and SmackDown. That's 1 and 1. You got. Do you want to consider Dom and JD a tag team or keep them separate?
I guess you could consider them a tag team, yeah.
So they would be on SmackDown and that you have right now. So you got Imperium's on Raw. You got Creed Brothers on SmackDown. And then you got so I think DIY on Raw. So it's almost 50-50, 3 and 3.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go New Day to Raw. I think that they are a kind of show more than go. I think the kids love New Day. I think that's a way. Ooh, hold on. Whoa. Back it up. I talked myself into SmackDown. Going to SmackDown. What's up, Zoe? Reason being, I think that when Raw goes to Netflix, there's a good chance we might get it. It might be a little bit adult friendly. We might get a little bit more cuss words, and might not be trying to draw the kids in so much to where we draw in the adults more. So I think SmackDown, they're still going to want to show that it's kid friendly, and I think that's where New Day can come in and be a nice little push. So I'm gonna go New Day SmackDown.
And New Day has been like a pillar of SmackDown the last 5-6 years, and this year they were on Raw, which was a nice change. You changed things up for a year or not, but just like you said, you got to make the jump to the more kid-friendly show. When the Netflix comes over, they can go back to 2 hours. They're more wrestling based, but they still have that entertainment side of things. And then you put them in the ring, like on a weekly basis with the Creed brothers, with A-Town Down Under. That could be a good sneaky team there. Like I see, like I'm looking at the potential on SmackDown, and I'm like, okay, I think that they're going to fit well with that group there, because they do have the most veteran like experience of all the tag teams that are together. He said, you got King Cleveland says, you guys got a link? And we'll probably could just do the draft. We're almost done it. So, we'll definitely have you on next week, though. Definitely so. We've got a lot of...
We go live once a week now. On Thursdays is our pod, and we normally have a theme we going in. But if you want to be our guest next week, consider it done.
Definitely so. We're 2 hours in, and this is a thing where we want to get through it in a good time. But definitely, like, you're more than welcome next week. We always want people on. This is just one of those ones where, gotta get through
2 hours deep.
Hell yeah. He said, any rumors of Big E coming back? He just posted a thing where he went to the doctor. They said that really no news. It said it's still going to bother him. There's potential to possibly, like, he's going to try and see what happens. Like, he said that it's all his decision, but he wants to be on the brighter side. So right now, there's no news of him coming back in the near future, but I'm hoping that it's something that can change down the line. Like, we don't know. It's a wait and see thing right now, and like I think that could be another thing too. Maybe it's the full people that he posted that, and they're all plans, but I think right now it's just Kofi and Xavier Woods. He said, "I've been watching Game of Thrones show. Is super good and crazy. Oh, that's one of my all-time favorite shows right there.
Dude, top 3 for me. Hey, House of Dragons comes back in, I think, June. I don't know.
I still gotta finish season 1. The first time I couldn't get into it.
Dude, anything Game of Thrones, I fucking lock in. Sorry for cussing. Yeah. I lock in is
maybe it's because I'm a Winterfell Wildling guy, Jon Snow and my guy, the male Ginger Wildling, not the female, the male, because that's my uncle right there,
There you go.
Yeah. Blessed by Fire.
Great show, Cleve.
He says I'm on season 4, the Red and me up. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. You got a lot more to go.
Dude, I wish I was only on season 4 and I haven't seen it all, dude. I would love that.
Oh my God. Like going back, it's like boom. They just hit you with everything, Mm-hmm. One of those shows that I miss. Damn, I can't believe it's been like 3 years since it's been on.
I know, man.
But before I do mine, we got 47 people chimed in, and we got a lot tuned in. Thank you guys for chiming in. Make sure if you haven't done so already, smash the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and then join us in the comment section. We want all the feedback from you guys on the draft predictions. And he said, Zoe said, I can't believe they canceled the Jon Snow series. Sucks. I don't know what's up with it. I was hoping it would happen. Maybe it's because he wants to take more roles, and I think they wanted to see how the House of Dragons does first before they boom start releasing a lot of these different sideshows. But I hope that they bring it back, because that's
anything that has like the lineage, how you can go down a family tree and see how the families are made, and like that. That's why I love the House of Dragon, because it's the Lannisters. Is it right?
Yeah.
Like, is it the Lannisters?
No, it's the Targaryens.
Yeah, Targaryens. So it just shows you how their family. Dude, it's great show.
Yeah.
All right. Who
so with the New Day, I got them. Smackdown. That's who it was. We both got them to Smackdown. I agree with you. What you said. It's going to be the more family friendly show with the Netflix deal paired with Raw. You're going to have a more edgier show, possibly, where instead of being PG, it's probably going to be more like PG-13 with a little bit more sprinkled onto it. You can get away with more. You got more leeway with the time, and you're going to see a little bit of a difference there. So I got the New Day making the move to SmackDown. So that's the third or fourth team drafted to the show. We got to make sure that we have a good amount on both shows.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got one of my fun picks here. This guy is a wild card, not a wild dog. Wow. Not a wild dog. Ruff, ruff. We got the wild card. We got Big Bronson Reed. I want to hear your take first on this one.
Okay, I'll start with Big Bronson Reed. I think that good contender for an IC, nice mid-card title. I think that I'm going to lean Raw. Bronson Reed reminds me of a Raw guy, big meaty guy, more time to fill on Raw. The wrestling guys on SmackDown. Yeah, no, I'm going to go Big Bronson Reed on Monday Night Raw. No really reason except for he kind of looks like a Raw guy to me, and I could see him being a good opponent for, did we say Logan Paul's going to Raw?
Yes.
Well, okay, then see, that kind of takes me.
They've already they've already teased
me my traps, because
they've already teased. Yeah,
They already teased what? Bronson and Sammy?
You remember that he talked to right before Chad Gable came out? He said, "It doesn't matter if you win or he wins." He was like, "I'm next."
See, going into this, I'd written nothing down. We're free balling this. All right, boys
Exactly.
and girls. So the more we talk, you kind of figure stuff out in your head. Yeah, that makes more sense. Bronson on SmackDown because of that. So yeah, I'm going to go Bronson Reed.
And he's more of a wrestler, big guy. You can actually, this is a type of guy where you could see him challenging for the title at like a Fastlane or something against Cody. You can have Cody against like a Bronson Reed, and he could get the push up to the main event scene for Bronson Reed, even if he doesn't win the mid card champion. But you want to have him do the mid card title first. And who has it right now? Sami Zayn. If whatever happens between Sami Zayn and Chad Gable goes a while, he could be there and could be a guy that could be in the middle. You could have a triple threat match for all we know, since he wants in on it. Like there's a lot that you can work in with him. You can have him versus Seth Rollins on SmackDown. Like there's potential there with him on SmackDown as like a mid card / main event future guy. So I like him on SmackDown.
As you do this, I'm gonna go piss out of my big dick. Sorry for cussing.
No problem. We got the comments right here. We got King of Cleveland. Do you think we get Rock versus Rand? Do you mean Rock versus Roman? Because all you put is Rand. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Hopefully you mean Roman. If you're saying Rock Roman at Mania, I don't know anymore. Like at first, I thought that was going to happen, and you're going to get that. But now I'm thinking possibly we get Rock versus Cody at 41, and then they hold out on Rock and Roman for 42. It all depends on how they do Rock and Cody. Yeah, they could do Cody sooner and then say do that as the January debut on Netflix or something, or like the debut of SmackDown on USA. They could do something like that with Rock and Cody, because The Rock is more going to be there part-time, but I think the money is right now is in Rock and Cody Rhodes because he's the champion. And that's how you get The Rock to win, and then you can use that. Maybe Roman is the reason that he beats The Rock, because how The Rock has the new bloodline on his side. And then you got to get from point A to point B somehow. So I think right now, I got Cody and The Rock at Mania 41. We're getting there. We've got 10 to 12, and we still haven't even hit the NXT yet. So we've got some juicy NXT people. I think we got 5 or 6 left on the main roster, and then I'll start getting to. We still got some really good picks. Trust me. We're going to end with the NXT ones. But first, we got a women's tag team. I got to get them in here. They've been on Raw. You got Chelsea Green. She's an entertainer. She's a sports entertainer. You got Piper Niven, who's been with her. I just watched an interview with the two of them that they've been great friends since being on Stardom. Like this is going to be more on the entertainment side of things. I got these two staying on Monday Night Raw. You got to have a little bit more women here. Like knowing that we've already got Ripley and Bailey on here, I think we need to add more women to the Raw side, since we've already started stacking up the SmackDown side. And with it being 3 hours, it's going to move to Netflix. They're going to be able to do more stuff, like from an edgier comedic side of things. I think these two are perfect for that red brand. So I got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven staying put.
Okay, yeah, I don't know either way on that one, so we're going to go with following you on that one, pal.
Yeah.
We got 51 live total. Shout out.
Hell yeah. Like I said, we got 36 tune in on Cage IQ X. Like I said, make the trek over to YouTube if you're enjoying what you're watching on the
support
video
your
from
boy
X.
Cage Rage.
Yeah, just go to the thing to the top of my Cage IQ X, and then you'll see the post with the Wrestling Bros Pod with the link on it. Just click the link, subscribe to the channel down below where we're at right now, and hit us up in the comment section and enjoy the content with us. Bada bing, bada boom. But you're on the same wavelength with me on this one. We'll just move on. This could be a game changer right here. I'll start this one out. We got the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. We got the new heel right here. You don't want none. He's got the new music, the new look with the all black. Love everything. Potentially going to be a challenger to the world title. He has a match with LA Knight tomorrow night to determine the number one contender. This is a guy that you could do two different things with here. I think he stays on SmackDown. I want him to go to Raw, but I have a feeling with him challenging Cody and then the potential of having him be able to face guys like Seth, a guy like CM Punk, and he's more of a wrestler and he's a heel because we have a few baby faces already on here. You need a hero up top there. I keep him put on SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow you on that one. AJ's a wrestler. Plus, we have more big time baby faces on SmackDown. We need some big time heels to go against them. And to me, AJ's a SmackDown guy. So yeah, I'm gonna go SmackDown as well.
Give me AJ versus Seth at SummerSlam.
Yes,
give me that. Give me that match. If he wasn't already challenging Cody, possibly at Backlash, I would say Cody and AJ at SummerSlam.
Watch this. Is there a world that we get reverse sweeped where every pick we say goes off the way?
Hey, if we can't get everything right, then I'd rather have everything wrong.
Amen, brother.
You know,
amen,
you got to go one way or the other. Hell yeah. So, are you in agreement with him on SmackDown?
I am. Special teams, special plays, special players, brother.
There, just like I said, phenomenal one. He's a big time wrestler. I love his personality. He's a fan favorite, but I love this heel side of things. I love bringing back the no one feel. The black. I like the new theme song. I just like everything that he's doing right now. He seems to fit the SmackDown mold. You know, you couldn't make the move over to Raw, but I feel like then you'd be just doing the whole him and LA Knight thing all over again and whatnot. Even though I do like the potential for and then you already have quite a few heels at the moment there. So I think this one fits right there. And then eventually you got like we said, if we're going to have more wrestlers on Raw, you want to kind of stack SmackDown with some good talent.
AJ fucking Styles, brother. Sorry for cussing.
You know it. Bam. The next crew you got is a group. We got the Final Testament. We're going to run through the next 5 picks are group/stable. So we got the Final Testament. We got Karrion Kross. We got Scarlett Bordeaux.
I think that we're gonna see Final Testament on Raw is what I think. We're gonna see Final Testament on Raw. I see Scarlett Bordeaux just on Raw. She's raw to me. She's a wild dog, boy.
Wild dog.
My final destiny is Scarlett, but Final Testament is going to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, you're going to see the breakup between them and the Pride. I think show-wise, I think this is perfect because you got Karrion Kross with the look of his entrance. You got the group. They're a heel group. We already have here a couple like babyface groups on SmackDown. We got the Creed Brothers on Raw, on SmackDown as a heel group, and then we have one or two. But we've said the theme for Raw is going to be you're going to see more of the groups go into Raw with 3 hours. This is the perfect move. You can push Karrion Kross. Like I would like to see like a final testament against like you get him and Authors of Pain, and then when you turn Roman and Usos as a babyface trio, that's a trio versus trio match that you can do down the line. If you want to heighten up Karrion Kross, because I see him as a guy that should be pushed towards the main event scene. He should be challenging for titles
I think
on
he's
either
the
show.
only bright spot in that match at WrestleMania was Karrion Kross.
He did great. I did the promo afterwards where he went, hey.
That's kind of what I'm talking about is how he did that promo, yeah.
Yeah. I might have bit off too much that I can chew, you know. Yeah. That's on me. But you know what? You know, I did what I did. And now you're going to see the pride break up because of me creating the divide. Because Bobby's not going to like get outshined by Montez Ford. And we'll get to that in a few picks. But I like the pick to Raw. I like the chance that maybe down the line, because we already said we got Priest, we got LA Knight, we up at the top, we got Drew. Those are some great matchups for a guy like Kross. You know, if you want to really push Kross, you get him away from those Codys, those AJs, those Seths, those CM Punks, and you put them on the Workman show, you know, on Raw. That's going to have more opportunity for him and his group. And at the same time, you get a tag team in AOP that can challenge for those titles on Raw. We got the Awesome Truth. We got DIY. I want to see that matchup again that from NXT where we saw DIY drop the titles to Authors of Pain, which is when Ciampa turned heel on Johnny. And there. Just a little tidbit facts from the past in NXT right there. That's who it right there. Ba-boom. I think that works great there. And then who knows? We might see Scarlett decide to wrestle because she can wrestle and she has done it on the indies. And with the Raw brand, I could see it happening.
No, please and thank you.
So with that, we got the Final Testament making the move to Raw. Even though I did 2 uppercase instead of just R. So we got that there. Next group here, we got the LWO. We got Rey Mysterio. We got Dragon Lee. We got Carlito for the time being. We got Cruz. And we got Joaquin Wilde. We just found out that Cruz just had surgery. So he's going to be out for a while. That's why on NXT, you saw Joaquin Wilde do a one-on-one match with Ridge Holland on NXT there. See, this is the group. This group's going to float, I think. See, you could move this group to you can keep this group on SmackDown. You can move them on Raw. But I think they're going to go wherever they go, they're going to work NXT as well.
Yeah.
Because I think this is a group that they do so. Oh, and then in this group, I also Zelina Vega is part of the group too. In here, so wherever they go, she gets added to here. So, you know, I'll let you start because how do you feel about this one? Like, do you want to keep them on SmackDown, or do you want to move them to Raw? Then, like, how do you feel?
I'll start it by saying we got 40 people on your X watching, and then I'll second it with that. I was working it out in my head. All right, so we've said it a couple times, but Raw has to be a bigger roster. So we have to have Raw have a little bit more people. But with my explanation of Judgment Day splitting up and Finn going to SmackDown.
Can I put a point in? Like, this might help. The next team just for reference, is Legado del Fantasma. And I think that these two groups have to be separated brand-wise.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, we can knock two birds out one stone here. So I think we'll see LW on SmackDown and Phantasmo on Raw. What do you think?
Yeah, because LWO's a babyface group, and then Legado del Fantasma is a heel group. And we've already kind of, you see.
Let me tell you my reasoning and see what you think. I think LWO on SmackDown because I think that if Dom's on, I think you also want to separate them from Dom.
Well, we have Dom on SmackDown right now.
You have Dom on SmackDown. I have Dom on Raw.
No,
I have Dom and JD. I have Aldis pulling a wild card and drafting Finn away.
See? So you only have Finn going to SmackDown.
Yeah, I only have Finn going to SmackDown. But so that's I think you got to separate Dom from Ray, and so that's why.
I actually think that you're going to get Dom versus Ray at some point again, and then that's how he retires.
Yeah, we always start with the draft being like, but I just kind of think by the time next WrestleMania, there'll be crossovers, and I think that could be one that is.
Okay.
What do you think?
Okay. I think Legado could do better on Raw because just because more time, more group. I just don't want them. You really don't have too many heels because I don't. With the Bloodline they don't have a tag team. The Usos are going to be more of a babyface if they decide to do tag team again. We don't know if they're going to do that when they pair together with Roman eventually, or if they're just going to be all singles guys with the same purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So right now we have DIY, we got the Awesome Truth, both babyface, and then you got AOP, who will be a heel group, and then we have the Creeds going to SmackDown. Let me go up to check on any other teams. So yeah, you know what? I got Legado going to Raw, and I got LWO going to SmackDown, staying on SmackDown. I think that would work great. Exactly. And then it adds a little bit of flavor. It keeps a little bit of flavor on SmackDown by letting Santos go to Raw and challenge for that U.S. championship, whoever has. Because I don't think it's going to be Logan Paul forever, but like I see potential with that, with the switch there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you could also, with knowing that you got Chad Gable and them, you could see them feuding with the LWO. You could see Ray feuding with Chad Gable for the IC title. You know, there's a lot of different things there to work with. And then, of course, I got to change that because we said that we got them to Raw. So we got LWO to SmackDown, staying put, and then we're moving Legado del Fantasma to Raw. Splitting up these groups. We're not profiling like our buddy Chris does a lot. We know that we got to split them up because they've already been on the same show for the last 6 months, and they need to be split
basically,
up.
Chris would say, basically, in this situation, the Jedi would say, build a wall between them. But we're not family friendly here. You know what I mean?
Yep. We're not saying anything. We're just saying it's smart to split them up.
We're not saying anything. We're just saying, Chris would have fucking said, sorry for cussing. Chris would have said,
sorry.
Build a wall.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on, we got one of the final two groups. We got Bobby Lashley's The Pride. We got Bobby Lashley. We got the Street Profits. And what's her name again?
Her name is
B-Fab.
Yeah, B-Fab.
I knew what it was. I didn't want to say it wrong, but it's B-Fab. So we got this group. They haven't broken up yet. I do feel like there's going to be a divide, but I think they're going to push it down the line. We got the Final Testament moving to Raw. I don't think that they keep these groups together. I could see them stay on SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the same way. I think that Bobby can be a good SmackDown guy, and I think you split those teams up, and then if that team ever splits up, you got a good tag team in Street Profits. But yeah, no, I think they go to SmackDown.
Yeah, and then you keep Bobby there. He's more of a wrestler. You're not going to get a lot of the segments or entertainment side of things from him. And man, with what we have, he could challenge for Cody. You could have a match with him and Rollins. Fuck, you can old school Bobby versus AJ Styles. Yeah, there's potential there. Bobby versus Chad Gable, depending on who the face and heel is. So, you get the Street Profits versus the Creed brothers. Like that. There's potential there. So you keep the pride on SmackDown, and then you got B-Fab, who has been working as the manager. As she can get into wrestling, boom, SmackDown's the place for her.
I agree, kind sir.
Here's going to be a hard one right here. The next two, because you're going to have to split them up, but then it's going to be a lot of women involved. First, we got Damage Control. We got Dakota Kai, we got Asuka, and then we got Kairi Sane and Io Sky. So that's a lot of talent.
Yeah,
women's side.
I'll let you go on that one first.
Oh my God. So we already have Bayley going to Raw. I do see a scenario that they could go as well if we planned it, because they are a hero group. We got two baby faces, as I know, on Raw, and Bayley and of course, Mommy right there. And then I do think we have Scarlett there. So we do need workers on Raw. But this is a big but. I'm making a power move right here.
Oh, power move.
I'm making a power move. They stay on SmackDown. And you're gonna know why after I'm done with them. You're gonna know. But if you're gonna have, because you already have two big names, sort of. And then I also got to remember Charlotte is injured, so I don't have her. She won't be back until, I think she's more of a free agent. And then so right now we have Becky and we have Liv on SmackDown, and we got Ivy too. I think you got to keep this team on SmackDown. So you got the option to be able to do Becky versus Asuka, Becky versus Io Sky. You can do like a Ivy Nile versus like a Dakota Kai. There's matchups there that you can work with instead of just having them put up. We've already seen Rhea go up against them. We've already seen those matchups. I think SmackDown fits them best, especially since they're going to need Dakota with them as their mouthpiece. But they're more of the wrestling base than they are the,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a nice explanation. I didn't really think about them before. I'll go with all that. They kind of seem like the wrestling show. You got Kairi Sane, best elbow in the biz.
Yep.
I'm gonna follow your lead on that.
And you're gonna like the next one. Like, this is my bowl. We stacked the men on SmackDown so we can stack the women on Raw. The next group, we got Jade and Bianca as a combo. I got them going to Raw to join Bayley and to join Rhea fucking Mommy Ripley. Because I want to see, sorry, it happens sometimes as a ginger, no soul and all, but, moving on. I want to see the potential. Like, if you're going to have all those women on SmackDown, you got to have a reason for it. Like, You do have Becky there that's high-powered. I do think that Charlotte's going to go to back to SmackDown, possibly. She could go to Raw, but the reason I have because Jade and Bianca, that team right now, they're not going to stay a team. But if they win the tag titles, they can run both shows. That's the reason of fighting other teams. If they win the titles, you got to have a reason to take the titles off of them. They're going to lose them because of whatever. They're going to disconnect. One of these two, cough, cough, Bianca is going to turn on the other. She's going to turn on Jade, and she's going to go heel. And you know how we've talked about Montez possibly breaking off of the Pride because Bobby gets jealous. Maybe Montez is the one that turns heel. And then maybe that's a trade where you trade, just like Jey Uso. You make the trade to send Montez to Raw eventually. Because I did think that Bianca and Montez need to be on the same show. Not necessarily to start out with. I think you move Jade and Bianca to Raw. That's new matchups for Rhea Ripley. That's new matchups. I would say for her. You can do Jade versus Rhea. You can do Bianca versus Rhea. You got Bayley there who can wrestle them because you've talked in the past how Bianca and Bayley don't necessarily get along. You get Charlotte to come back and she goes to Raw. That kind of like balances things out, because we've had you trying to we don't have the same matchups. Last fresh ideas, and then it kind of if one of these move to heel, it's going to give you the chances for different things. So I like the potential there with Jade and Bianca moving over, but that it's not necessarily they're going to start as a tag team and then you break them apart in the future.
Nice. We got a couple people watching on House of Mo. Guys, if you click that link right there, if you smash that link right there, it will take you to the new YouTube channel, me and the Dashing One Rock. It's called Wrestling Bros Podcast. Take the E out of wrestling. So you come over there, subscribe. I won't be going live often on House of Mo. I'm just doing that to let a couple people see, to find us and come over. But there's that link in the chat. If you could click that and come over, subscribe, that would be awesome. I see Jade and Bianca both as Raw women.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea as far as we have SmackDown kind of stacked with men. Let's have Raw stacked with women, but we still have good men that can wrestle too. So, but I like that Jade and Bianca on Raw. I think that they're going to start off being nice to each other and then work their way up to being a nice little rivalry.
Yep, and that's what they're trying to do with this. Usually on a brand, they'll have men stacked up on one side, and then on the other side, they'll usually have women. That way, you get the theme. Okay, this show's going to have more women wrestling, but it's like the thorn in the side of this is always going to be the couples thing. You want to keep the couples together. That's why I said, even though we got Montez going to SmackDown, it doesn't mean he's going to stay there. I do think eventually maybe he gets, when he breaks off with this whole thing with him and Bobby, maybe he gets traded and he wants to be by himself. And then you see him and his woman, Bianca, on Raw together as heels.
I like it.
So we got these two. And then because of who Jade is, she's a attraction and she's not much of a wrestler. They're going to focus on her squashing people and being a big name, and some matchups she hasn't fought. I think going to Raw would be her best move, especially since, like we said, her and Bianca haven't been on the same show as Ripley. And those are matchups we want to see Ripley finally be able to do. So got those two going to Raw.
I like it.
I had a group here, but I think they're going to stay in NXT, so I took them off because I forgot of a big name. Let's go with this name right here.
I believe it's Tiffy time.
I almost forgot about Tiffy time.
I'll start it. Put her
Tiffany
on
Stratton.
Raw. Put her on Raw. Strap the rocket to her. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like she's gonna be up there. She's gonna be challenging. Bailey's the champion. You got Ripley there. You got Bianca. What if they tease Bianca? You could do that. You see, this is tough because she's definitely sports entertainment, and that allows them to keep her on the same show as Ludwig Kaiser, her off-screen boyfriend. Even though part of me wants to see her go to SmackDown with Becky and with Damage Control, I think Raw is the best plan for her. Future champion and match up there. You know, this could be a situation where next Mania you could get. I could very well see like Rhea Ripley versus like Jade, and then see Tiffany versus Bianca, just on the Raw side. Stack the women, and this is our breakout star here. Tiffy time is red. So we get her. That was kind of easy for me. It was great to kind of audition her to SmackDown. She got into the, of course, the Elimination Chamber. She hasn't done too much. She's done like 2 matches since, won one and then lost one, both against Naomi, ironically. And now you're going to see the push, you know. I see. And then one big thing, this is my pick for Money in the Bank for the women, is Tiffany Stratton. If you're going to have Bailey as the champion and you want a way to take it off of her right away or down the line, have Tiffany Stratton win the thing and then either win it the same night, cash in on the same night, or you wait a little while and then have her do it.
I like it.
Especially with Jade and Bianca potentially winning the women's tag titles. So moving on, if we're in agreement with that, we got Kevin Owens, KO Mania. We got he recently challenged for the U.S. Title. He's been on SmackDown after being on Raw last year. He was on Raw, then it was on SmackDown. Basically, I'll let you start this one out.
I don't think KO's going to be. I think he has good matches. He has some good storylines. I think let's keep him separated from Sammy. Let's keep Kevin Owens on Raw.
Best bet there. You keep him away from Raw. He's that main event / mid card guy, like Sammy is. With Cody on SmackDown, like you don't have to have him there because we already have Sami Zayn. The fact that he is a really good heel and babyface, it gives you leeway with where you want to work him. Like he can work on both sides this year. It just depends on who's champ and then who you want to face him up against at that time. I see a lot of potential here with who we already have on that Raw roster. Like I could see him versus Cross. I could see him versus Priest. I could see him versus Drew. I want to see him versus Drew. With me having him Drew staying on Raw. I could like there's a lot that you could do with it. Logan Paul, he could continue that rivalry a little bit. Who am I missing? But yeah, so I'm with you on that one. I got Raw. I think they did too much with him and Sammy so far, and I think the plan is to try and keep them separated.
Yeah. At some point, they'll return for a nice little final rivalry type situation or whatever. But right now, let's keep them separate.
So, yep. Moving on, we got. What is that I hear? What is that I hear? Do I hear the voices? Or is that just in my head?
I hear voices in my head.
We got the Viper, Randy Orton. This is main event. He's been working a little bit of mid-card, which has been perfect. This is the guy that could really... I'm going to start this one out. I think he goes to Monday Night Raw. I think that's perfect. You don't need him to work. Like, you could easily put him on SmackDown and make SmackDown OP. You have him, Cody, Steph, we're already there. Bobby, like guys that he's worked with in the past. But if you really want to diversify the Raw roster, you want to add another guy that could either be babyface or move him heel. You move the Viper over to Raw, and he could get away with a lot more, especially if he moves heel.
Yeah, I like the way you're thinking. I think with SmackDown being stacked, we need to have some firepower on Raw. And Randy could swing both ways, baby. I prefer him, the Predator, the Apex Predator, but he can be a babyface if need be. So I think he's a good addition to Raw.
This would be the best bet for him to win another title, to add another world title reign to it. Like we've named names, but it's like that's what makes it so great. If he can add a roster where even like he would be that star power on Raw, because you already stacked the deck on the SmackDown. You want that star power where he's a star, but you don't have to have the title on him. He could be a guy that just winds up winning it, or he can do what he's been doing and put guys over. Because he's a great worker, and you can do a lot of storytelling on the entertainment brand on Raw. And with them being on Netflix, I could see him bringing back the boot to the face.
Yeah.
And being more sadistic.
The punt.
Oh, yeah. That's the golden ages of Randy being on Raw with that smirk right there, Eventually, it's going to be that, then boom.
I agree, sir.
Yep. Okay, let me do this. We got the final two. Let me move this up because this is where we're going to get gritty right here. Okay, so we got the last woman here because right now I got Natalya. I'm not putting her on there because I have her staying on NXT. I think she stays on NXT for a while. But we got Naomi. You could I could see her moving with the duo over to Raw, moving with our man Jimmy. I want her to stay on SmackDown, but I think she makes the move to Raw with Jimmy.
Yeah, I do too. I think that WWE likes to keep couples together, and I think that there's more time and more opportunity for her to kind of let the star power of the Biancas and the Jades build her up too. So I'm going to go Naomi on Raw.
The only problem I have is it keeps her and Jade, Bianca, and Bayley on the same show, but then I feel like that's their way of breaking them off from Damage Control. You have to have Damage Control on one show and then those four on another show together, because you can always – Bayley can go heel again. Bianca could go heel. Jade could go heel. Naomi's more like a baby face. So that'd be the way of just pointing it out there. But I do think that it fits what she's going to do right now. And it gives you another contender on woman on Raw. So I got Naomi on the red brand.
Nice.
Okay. Now you got one more tag team on the main roster. This is the tag team, but one guy's been missing for the last 6 months due to an ACL injury. We got the Viking Raiders. We got Ivar, who's right now he's technically on Raw, but he's been working SmackDown. He looks to be doing something with Oba Femi. He looks to be the next challenger for the NXT North American Championship. I like the singles run that they've been giving him on Raw. With the tag teams, I do think that we need another tag team on the Raw brand, But I could see them moving the Viking Raiders to SmackDown, which I like even more, turn them babyface, and then at the same time keeping them working in NXT. So I kind of see this as like to start out, they'll be on NXT, but then they might move up and do NXT and SmackDown. So I'm gonna put NXT.
Nice. Hey, I'm rolling with you.
I like what they're doing now with the fact that we don't know when Eric is going to be back. I think there's still a good 5 to 6 months before he could potentially come back.
Yeah.
That this is a way to let Ivar work a single style for a while. You know, rock down there, the main event mid-card scene. He can put the work in. I like what he's been doing, you know. You can make him a bigger deal by being on that roster with all these call-ups that are happening.
10-4, nice. I'm gonna rock with you on that one. That sounds good.
So for this, we put NXT, but it's going to be more so Ivar rather than the group. But I think once he comes back, you keep him there until next draft. Here's the big name right here. This is going to be a shocker, but I'm doing it anyway. We got Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm going to start this out.
Nakamura.
Back to NXT.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got
it. Back to NXT. If you're going to have a guy like Trick Williams take the belt off of Ilya Dragunov, who's going to get caught up, and you're going to pluck away a little bit of talent, you're going to need to send somebody down there to challenge Trick Williams, to get the most out of him, to be a nice heel, because you're already taking Dragunov, you're taking Braun Breaker, possibly Baron Corbin, and who am I missing? Carmelo Hayes, and possibly Dijak. You're taking all those names off of NXT. You got to bring a couple back. So we're already bringing Ivar back. You can bring a big name in Nakamura, where he could be the main event scene at NXT for a while, be that dastardly heel to the champion. Could be a nice rivalry that you don't expect with the subtitle promos for a Trick, and go from there. And then you're going to get a couple guys get thrusted up the challenge Trick, but I think Shinsuke Nakamura could work NXT and then be able to possibly work Japan as well, because he's been talking about wanting to be able to go over and do some crossovers again. So and doing NXT allows him to do that.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'll follow your lead on that. Hey, I see these next couple ones are NXT. And my dog's got to go outside, so I'm going to take my dog out real quick.
Okay. So this is going to finish it out. All the rest is going to be NXT. But before we do that, I'm going to run over the last half of the picks. Like I said, we started out with Alpha Academy. Had them going to SmackDown. New Day. We got to fix that. I believe we had them going to SmackDown as well. Bronson Reed to SmackDown. We had a nice run on SmackDown. We had Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Got them going to Raw. AJ Styles going to SmackDown. Final Testament going to the Red Brand on Raw. LWO going to SmackDown. We got Legado del Fantasma going to Raw. We got the Pride going to SmackDown. We got Damage Control staying on SmackDown. We got the Big Swing. We got Jade and Bianca moving to Monday Night Raw. We got Tiffany Stratton, the nice call-up, moving to Raw. Big move there. Future Money in the Bank champion. Tiffy time. You know it. Kevin Owens going to Raw. Randall Keith Orton, the Viper, going to Raw. We got Naomi going to Raw. So we got a nice Raw run there after the SmackDown run. And then they'll finalize the last two before we get to the NXT call-ups. We got Viking Raiders to NXT, and we got Nakamura to NXT as well. There's also a couple that I think, like I said, OWO, you could see them floating between NXT and SmackDown, especially if Carlito turns heel. Eventually, I could see him making the move down. I could see Chelsea Green working the NXT brand a little bit to help out. I could see Otis going back down. I could see a couple names going down that we haven't seen. And then there's still names of like Charlotte Flair. You could see her helping out a little bit for like a month or two. But be prepared. There are going to be names that you're going to out of nowhere see jump down to just help. So just because we aren't replenishing the call-ups doesn't mean we're not going to see names get called down. You're going to see quite a few. I just had to see them in the future. But let's start out with the two couple big names from NXT to the main roster. First, big name here, we got Carmelo Hayes. This is a tough one. He's done everything on the NXT brand there. He's, except for, I think, tag champions. I think that's the only one he hasn't done. He's multi-time North American champion. He's one-time world champion in NXT. This is the blue chipper right here, right now. But Carmelo Hayes, with what I've seen here, it depends on how they work this guy. But I see this guy as a guy that you put on SmackDown. How do you feel about this? You there, Mo? I think he's having issues right now working on it. But I'm going to go with SmackDown. I like the fact that he could start out with like the mid-card scene on Raw kind of stacked. I feel like if you want to replenish the SmackDown side, you want to be able to give him familiar opponents and top talent that can work with Carmelo. You put him on here. You got Sami Zayn. You got Chad Gable. You got guys of that nature. You got guys like Bobby Lashley, Andrew Dawkins, Rey Mysterio, and Dragon Lee, Egan Face. You can match Carmelo Hayes versus AJ Styles. You got Carmelo Hayes versus a Theory or Grayson Waller. That'd be great. You got Carmelo Hayes versus Seth Rollins. That'd be a big matchup again. You want to pair then this guys from Judgment Day that we have like Finn versus Carmelo Hayes again that I believe we've seen before. You can do that. Like you want to stack him with the group there. So I got SmackDown for this one. It seems like if you're gonna have some go to Raw, you might as well boom the SmackDown. So I got Carmelo Hayes going to the blue brand. And when Mo comes back, I will let it come back and let him give his picks. But right now, we'll make the move to the next call-up. We got Roxanne Perez, two-time NXT Women's Champion, the current champion. I think the plan is she's going to drop the title either next week to Tatum Paxley or Lyra Valkyria, because I do think Valkyria will be called up soon. So I think Paxley probably is the future champion. But for right now, she is the champion. She's a heel talent on the roster. I think right now, I think the plan would be you move her to SmackDown. She is right there, babyface. She's been working heel lately. But this is one that you can shoot the move on SmackDown. Like with Becky Lynch, the big name there with up the top with Liv. You got Damage Control there. That you got a couple that are up in the main event scene with Io and Asuka. But then you got Kairi Sane and Dakota Kai who are more the mid-card scene. And this is a way And then you got Maxine, you got B-Bam. You got talent there that you can make the push to do that run up the division with Roxanne. Like, I'd pay to see Liv Morgan versus Roxanne for a title down the line, or just a matchup there on that blue brand for like a number one contendership shot at a pay-per-view. So I got Roxanne Perez on SmackDown, allows her to go to Friday. You could put her on Raw, but then with Tiffany Stratton on Raw now in this prediction video, I got her moving to SmackDown instead of Raw. Split them two up. It'd be great. And then you can easily have Roxanne Perez continue the heel gimmick when she gets caught up, instead of just going switch to babyface. And that'll open things up for her getting big time matchups right away. So for the first call up on the women's side, I got Roxanne Perez to SmackDown. Let's go. Put that there. We only got 6 picks left. So we're getting to the nitty-gritty down to the end. So we'll get this done. And then me and Mo will end it for tonight and get you guys ready for next week's draft. This is a big one right here. I have a plan in place here. You got Brian Breaker and Baron Corbin. We already know that Brian Breaker was called up. He technically signed to SmackDown, but this is how they're going to play things up a bit. I think that the plan was to have Braun Breaker up and then even being a powerhouse babyface, powerhouse solo artist from the beginning. I think they love the duo so much that I think they're going to wind up packaging them as a tag team with all the stacked rosters right now. They'll allow him to breathe from the main event scene, to not get booked wrongly from the beginning. You book him with Baron Corbin, you get the Wolf Dogs together for at least a year. Then that's where you make the move to have him be a single star a year removed from Cody as champion, getting the belt. That way it's easier storytelling wise, because if you try to do it right now, it could get lost in the big card shuffle, and then booking him out of that will be hard from the beginning. So you start him out in the tag team for a year, you have them dominate, and then boom, win the titles, do a thing at Mania, and then you have them break off somehow. So the show that I had them going to is going to be key here. I think with the sports entertainment side of things with them, we've kind of overbooked SmackDown. I just put Carmelo Hayes to SmackDown. You moved the Wolf Dogs to Monday Night Raw, especially with the potential of having Braun as a main eventer in like a year or two. Boom. These guys can challenge like DIY, Awesome Truth, and whatnot, and they could be challengers every week for the titles. Hell, I could see them winning the titles right away coming up. That's the type of team that's how high they are on this one. The goal here is to protect Braun Breaker from getting lost in the shuffle if he's a solo artist. And like I said, to do that, you put him in a tag team for a while. That way, it kind of clears up the storyline, so that when you want to move him to a not babyface, I keep saying it. If you want to move him to a solo main eventer, you need room for him up at the top. So you want to give him time to grow in this team. You get some credentials under him. He gets acclimated to the main roster. And then when that spot opens up, boom, that's when you break them up, take the titles off of them, and then boom, they go to Mary Ray's. Helps out Corbin, and then helps out Breaker. Boom. Moving to Monday Night Raw.
Team Wild Dogs, huh?
Wolf Dogs. Woof, woof. But if you want to go Wild Dogs, you can do that,
Couple wild
hell yeah. So I got them going to Raw. But just to give you a little sense of the last 3 picks, I had Carmelo Hayes going to SmackDown. With him being a heel, I like the potential of him facing, like, I could see him versus Cody. I could see him versus Seth. I could see him versus CM Punk, yada yada yada, all the names up. AJ Styles,
Sammy would be good.
him and Sammy. I can see that. I got Roxanne Perez. I have her and Tiffany split up. I got her going to SmackDown with Tiffany going to Raw. With her being a heel right now, that works perfect. Like, I want to see a matchup I want to see in the future is Roxanne Perez versus Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Or
I
like,
like
or
some Roxanne Perez, a babyface better than the heel version, but I like her on SmackDown. Plus, Raw stacked with women, so
yes. And you want to be able to add like a main event future star to the mix, and Roxanne Perez adds that to SmackDown. And then Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin to Raw. That's where I'm at right now.
I like it.
Okay, so with the move, this is a guy I could see floating around. I want to see this guy go from NXT to SmackDown to Raw because he's going to be the speed champion, in my opinion. We got Ricochet. Right now, I got him moving down. I don't know why I spelled it that way. I must have been on crack or something when I did that, And then I still am messing it up. Holy shit.
Rico. It's Rico it.
I did have it. For some reason, like, I'm just like looking at it wrong, I still had it wrong, but
it's because we've been live for 3 hours.
Yeah. We got Ricochet. I got him bold move. I got him going down to NXT.
Yeah, that could be good. He could be really big in NXT. He could start working on his mic skills, develop that, maybe develop he's always going to be Ricochet, but let's develop some kind of character. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just Ricochet. Like, let's develop something around Ricochet and bring that up.
Like, he worked it last year where he worked the program with Carmelo Hayes for the North American Championship. You got the potential where right now he's challenging for the newly named Speed Championship, so he's going to be doing that. But that's something that he can do on the side. You can easily have him do that, but still work NXT because they're only working 3-minute matches. Usually, like its own thing on X. I see him moving down. You get him a lot of reps because he hasn't really worked too much. Like, he's been doing this thing with the Judgment Day, but it seems like that's going to stop soon, I feel like. And I see him going to NXT. You get the call down. You already got Nakamura down there. Yeah, that's a name that he can work with. You got Trick Williams. Like, you got the names getting called up. Josh Briggs that you can work with. Like, there's potential for this guy to work with. He can work with guys like Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Those are great matchups for a guy like Rick